at Mount St. Vincent University.
Maybe
I should repeat that remark for the purposes of recording. These are welcome to the closing remarks, everyone. This is Antony Card, Dr. Antony Card, Dean of Education at Mount St. Vincent University.
Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you for introducing me twice. That was wonderful. It's just a pleasure to be able to bring some closing remarks here. And I think there's three things I'd like to do in this short amount of time is to offer some quick reflections from the conference, to talk about a couple of things that have surprised me, but surprised me in a very good way. And then to offer thanks to the participants, the presenters, and of course the organizers as well. In terms of reflections, I could go on for hours, I think, but I'll just cherry pick a few things. I think one of the things I've been impressed with is the quality of all the presentations. They've just been absolutely wonderful. I particularly enjoyed the book contributors panels. I thought hearing their thoughts from those chapters, but also having submitted those chapters a while ago, where their thoughts are now about that I found quite invigorating and inspiring. I enjoyed the journal editors panel, and that probably because I've done that in a previous role, but I thought it was a great opportunity for those that wanted to publish from this conference to engage in further conversations. I think the connections here and the possibilities are really quite exciting. I also enjoyed hearing from those involved in teaching, either from curriculum development in the university perspective or from the K-12 system. And Carolyn pressed 21 pillars. I enjoyed that. And of course, the discussion about the student that hearing about meditative inquiry went on to become a monk, which was really quite interesting. The other thing that I think has impressed me has been the number of participants we've had in each of these sessions. And it made me think that if we were to do this on campus, our classrooms wouldn't have been large enough. We'd have had to take auditorium for each of the sessions. Really great participation. And the presenters coming from all over the world. I thought about our presenter in the middle of the night in Melbourne, those late in the evening from the West Coast of the United States, and Dr. Lise, who came in from Italy. I think it was Florence, and she had the bright morning sunshine coming in through her window. And of course, this is the beauty of an online international conference, is that we can get these people from all over the world. It was really quite exciting. Some things that surprised me. The conversation around fear and meditative inquiry, or fearlessness, I think that's interesting and something I'd be interested in following up on. I wasn't expecting to be ordering a book called Breath, the New Science and the Lost Art of that. And Naya, your cross-nostril breathing, I think that's what you referred to it as. I'm trying to develop that now and carry on with that as well. So all wonderful things. And so finally, some thanks. Obviously to all of our presenters, wonderful presentations, to our participants for your active engagement in the chats and so on. And then to our organizers, to Iain, to Bonnie, to Ali with a French twist. I enjoyed your presentation as well on that. You've made it run so smoothly. It's just been great. So thank you so much for that. And then, of course, the last word of thanks has to go to Dr. Kumar and Ashwani. I'm going to talk to you directly and say, I think all of our presenters have commented on how much you've opened up to connecting with others and allowing them to bring their scholarship to this and creating so many opportunities for so many people, which is deeply appreciated. The Mount is proud of all of our professors and their academic accomplishments, but right here, right now, particularly proud and very grateful for this conference. And I mean that most sincerely. Thank you, Ashwani. So with that, I'm looking forward to tonight. I really am. And thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Antony.
Thank you. And we'll be moving on now to Scott MacMillan, who is the coordinator of teaching of the Teaching and Learning Center here at Mount. Okay.
Thank you very much. I echo everything Antony said. I agree with everything. I'm going to follow his format. First off, my reflections. It's a joy to be involved in a conference that has such greater aims of looking at the future of the world and talking about how humanity evolves. And it is such a joy to watch this conference and kind of see the people talking in such an inclusive nature of coming together in commonality. 20 years ago, I met David Sable at St. Mary's University. St. Mary's at the time created the Center for Spirituality in the Workplace, which intrigued both of us, and we met through that. David subsequently created a course at St. Mary's, Spirituality and Work, which is an incredibly successful course. This conference brings me back to the conversations that we used to have and that I was involved in. I love the words, authenticity, questioning, dialogue, holistic, and all the different things there that have brought out in this conference and reminded me. In my past life, before my current position, I'm a business professor, and you hear a lot about capitalism and all the issues of that cause our problematic world, if you will. And this conference is talking about a different world, a better world. And that is great to hear. I mean, because we don't hear that enough. And what has happened at this conference is lays down steps to move forward as a world. And so I really, appreciate being involved. And I love the inclusive nature of it. I love the fact that there were so many people involved in it and who brought their thoughts to the table. Second, I want to just talk briefly about higher education. It was commented about a world in crisis. Well, higher education's in crisis. We are trying to figure out what the future is, and COVID has pointed that out to us, but we knew that in the past. We are in an uncertain times. We are, of course, looking at an unknown future, but what we do know is that we have to transform. We have to change. The world has to change. The progress paradox that some people are arguing for, the great progress on one hand in the world, technology and longevity and healthcare, et cetera. At the same time, tremendous problems of inequity, of discrimination, of racism, of materialism, et cetera, that's happening here. We have to transform higher education. We have to transform ourselves. We have to transform, hopefully, into a better world. And so this conference is talking about all these things, the things that we don't talk about enough. And so I thank you for that. And lastly, I'm going to steal from Antony, although I planned it anyhow. Ashwani Kumar. We are very fortunate here at Mount St. Vincent University to have Ashwani. We know what a treasure he is. He's a leader, an influencer, a role model. And here at the Mount, we know we have to transform. We know we have to go in a different direction. And Ashwani is, boy, we couldn't ask for a better person to have here. And so we are extremely lucky. And so thank you, Ashwani. Congratulations to everybody. One of the great things I always believe when you go to a conference, you tell the value if they make you think and you take it forward with you. And I know this has made me think, and I will take it forward with me in the days and weeks and months to come that can help us hopefully here at the Mount, but more also in my own life move forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Scott. I'm not sure if Bonnie, you introduced Scott. Scott is our interim director of Teaching and Learning Center. And I know how busy Antony and Scott are. But despite their busy schedule, they have been attending so many sessions. So I really thank you to both of you for taking the time to attend all these sessions and for your genuine and authentic appreciation. Thank you so much, Scott and Antony.
Yes, thank you. I had introduced him, which means they both got introduced twice, which is very fitting. And so now we're going to move on to the committee ourselves as we say our thanks. So we have to just switch around the spotlighting. Okay. Oops. Okay, and wait, I think Ashwani said you want to be spotlighted separately, is that right? Okay, so here we are, the committee. And I'll begin. My name's Bonnie Petersen, and I'm a member of this conference committee. And we had all been asked to share some thoughts. So I want to start off by saying how much I've appreciated being present throughout the conference, to hear so many varying perspectives, but united by the commonality of considering meditative inquiry as an approach, illustrating inquiry as a verb and as an action. As the panelists shared their thoughts, I made notes of things of particular interest, but we'll just share one thought of my own that I noted down when a feeling I was experiencing. How it feels to hear someone speak from a place of vulnerability, learning, and openness, from a place of inquiry rather than a place of certainty. And that really struck me. And that struck me a number of times throughout this conference. And I really appreciated that. So I want to thank everyone that was involved, all the presenters and the attendees, my fellow conference team members, and of course, Ashwani. Thank you. And that's it from me.
Iain or Ali? Iain, would you like to go ahead?
Yes, I was just looking at the list. I'm second, sorry. My name is Iain MacLeod, and I'm a doctoral student in the Inter-University Program in Educational Studies. And Dr. Ashwani Kumar is my supervisor. So when he asked me to be involved on the conference committee, I happily said yes. And we've been busy for several months now, actually planning what has happened over the past 3 days. And I wasn't sure what to expect. This is my first academic conference, and it was far less scary and far more interesting than I had anticipated. So thank you all for that. I'm going to keep my comments fairly short. The main thing, and I would just echo everybody who's spoken, and especially what Bonnie just said, that I've been really impressed by the openness, not only of the presenters, of course, but of the participants as well. Some of the questions have been wonderful, and it's been a real treat to share these few days with you all, and to really see a lot of people being very open, being very vulnerable, and just being honest. So I really appreciate that. I want to thank Bonnie and Ali, who've been on the conference committee with me, and especially Dr. Ashwani Kumar for your what I think I will call your gentle leadership, and it's really been a pleasure to spend this time with you. Thank you.
That's so lovely. I don't know how to follow you two, because that was so well said. But again, thank you also for including me in this conference. My name's Ali Barclay. I'm a teacher, have been for a number of years with the SSRCE, and a new doctoral student with MSVU. So I mean, I enjoyed this conference on so many levels, just being included in the team and getting to be able to sort of participate as a co-host was really lovely experience, because I mean, just being able to listen to so many scholars, teachers, healthcare practitioners speak around these topics has been really enlightening. And as a teacher, I think just being able to share in a space like this has been very interesting, and it's really sparked so many things for me in my mind. You know, thinking about things like so many of the speakers spoke about pushing back on curriculum, and how do you do that in creative ways. That was really something that's kind of resonating with me. And certain scholars I just found particularly interesting, listening, for example, to David Sable and the fellow from Melbourne, Chris McCaw, and listening, you know, to Diane Obed and that sort of like embodied experience. There were so many touching moments there for me. So, and Yelena yesterday just speaking about the difficulties of teaching and what a difficult couple years it's been. And I know as scholars, you also are teachers as well. So you probably share those feelings that we've all been feeling. But on a positive note, it's just been really wonderful to sort of immerse myself in this kind of environment. It's been very fruitful, and I feel like it's very inspiring. So thank you so much to all of you. Thank you so much, Dr. Kumar. And I look forward to seeing you all tonight.
Thank you. Well, I also need to share a few thoughts with all of you. First of all, thank you so much, Bonnie and Iain and Ali, for your reflection on the on your experience with the conference. I'm going to thank you once more. I think we are just adopting the tradition of thanking everybody twice. So I'll come back to you in a little bit. I just want to share a couple of quick thoughts. You know, when I was thinking about this book, engaging with meditative inquiry and teaching, learning, and research, I talk about that in the epilogue of the book, that I was quite concerned and even nervous to some extent whether that's a good idea or not, because you know the things like this happen when somebody is at the very late end of their career or posthumously. To invite people to engage with your work and then to invite them to again engage with a wider audience. For collecting the book as well as doing this conference, those thoughts were always on my mind. And I think it's good to have those thoughts so that one is critically self-aware. That's the whole part of meditative inquiry. But I must say, I'm so really grateful to all the generosities, to all the collegiality and the collaboration that has happened in the book and in the conference. It has really quite touched me, and also at the same time like quite blown my mind away of how when people come together and explore together, how many new insights can be generated. And I feel that in academia we should kind of adopt this model of putting the ego aside, but actually engaging with the diverse perspectives of our colleagues, so that we can see not only how we work, but how our work is connected to other people. And that's what I noticed over the past 15 years I have been in Canada and working on this idea, how I learned about different perspectives like Afrocentricity, like the indigenous perspectives, and I saw there were so many connections. And so it was a way for me to bring those connections together. And I'm so very grateful to all the chapter contributors to this book and also to the conference. I have a few more folks to thank, so please bear with me just for a moment. First of all, I would like to sincerely thank the Shirk Exchange Grant that made this event possible. Second, I also want to thank Rutledge, especially the editor Alice Salt. And very importantly, I would like to recognize support from various units within Mount St. Vincent University, including Faculty of Education, ITNS, Conference Services, Research Office, and Accounts, among others. Third, to all of our wonderful presenters who have together explored meditative inquiry from their unique perspectives. We know you are all busy and there has been such screen time for all of you. So we really appreciate your willingness to share your insights. This conference would not have been possible without you. So, you know, in addition to the chapter authors, there were a number of, like a large number of other scholars and practitioners and teachers who agreed to contribute to this conference. Really grateful to all of you. Fourth, I would like to thank all our attendees who enthusiastically participated in all the sessions. Almost 400 people registered and all the sessions were so very well attended. We thank you for your participation and active interest in the topic of meditative inquiry. Finally, I would like to once again recognize the work of the students, of the doctoral students who were on the conference organizing committee and ran this conference confidently and successfully. Bonnie Petersen, who led this team of RAs, Ellie Barclay and Iain MacLeod. Their help was invaluable and working with them was a lot of fun. From the preparation of the grant proposal, through planning each and every aspect of the conference diligently, to finally successfully completing this wonderful conference, these students have shown their enormous dedication and commitment. I definitely couldn't have done it without them. A couple of other students also contributed to this conference in the beginning, but couldn't continue later due to their other commitments, namely James Karen and Lubaba Sanjana. They are also doctoral student. Thanks, Jamie and Lubaba. And last but not least, heartfelt thanks to my wife Neha Acharya for helping me out in several, many small and big ways to, with this conference. She's quite responsible for the success of this conference in many ways. I would like to conclude with the 3 statements that are also part of the book, and the book also concludes with these statements. May our meditative inquiries transform ourselves, our relationships, and the world. May our pursuits bring about and spread creativity, beauty, and awareness. May our work promote peace, harmony, and compassion. Thank you so much again, everybody, for all your contribution. The videos of all the presentations will be available on YouTube for you to watch freely at your own convenience. And for those of you who have registered for the cultural evening, we look forward to seeing you very soon. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's it, everybody. Thank you for coming to the conference.
You can stop the recording.